Hi friends, this video is going to be a review and wear test on the Dior Forever Skin Glow foundation. I've tried this foundation a few times before this review, and today we are going to talk about the product, do a demo, and a wear test. And then I will, of course, rate this foundation based on my rating system I have for foundations, and we'll see how this foundation performs. So let's get into it. We'll start out with one pump and use that for half of my face so we can compare it to the other side where I don't have any makeup. I'm blending this out with a damp beauty blender. Once I blend in that first pump, I like the way it looks. It's natural and my skin is still coming through and makes my skin look like my skin but better. Now let's do the other side. Again, I'm going in with one pump for the other half of my face and I'm just going to blend that out with the same beauty sponge. Now that it's all blended, I do like the way it looks. The dewiness still comes through on the other side as well, and it makes my skin look really nice. This foundation is supposed to be super buildable, so let's add a third pump, but this time I will blend this extra pump over my entire face to add more coverage and just see how that looks. Now this is more foundation and coverage than I usually wear, but I'm doing this for this review. Now that it's all blended, it looks really nice. There's no more redness coming through, and the spot on my chin from a pimple that I picked at is completely covered. But I have to warn you, from past experience with using this foundation, if you want to build it, you have to blend it out really, really well. You really need to work at blending it out because this particular foundation can actually look really cakey. Now that it's all done, I'm going to go do the rest of my makeup and we'll come back and chat. Makeup is done. I did not add any concealer or setting powder. I like to try out a foundation when I do a review on it without any setting powder or additional concealer. I just want to see how the foundation itself does throughout the day. So here is what my skin looks like now after finishing my makeup. So what I have on is cream bronzer, cream blush, my eyeshadow, lipstick, and there is no creasing yet under the eyes. That's where I always see creasing first, under the eyes. I have fine lines there, so that's where I notice it usually. So this is what it looks like right now. The forehead still looks good. There's no dry spots there. There is no creasing around the nose, under the eyes. I have to say, when it comes to this foundation, like not creasing, it is amazing. It does. I find that I get minimal creasing with it. There is, however, some redness on my chin, and that spot here is starting to come through a little bit more where I picked my pimple. But even on my upper lip, it's still holding pretty well. I am seeing a bit of dryness, just a tiny bit, but nothing crazy. But yeah, just the redness and a bit of dryness on my chin. But overall, it's doing okay. Last check-in before I go wash this off my face, just wanted to show you guys what it looks like. I've been wearing this now for I think 9 or 10 hours. So here's what we're working with. So far from a distance, it still looks good. There is a bit of redness coming through on the chin, but under the eyes, there is no creasing since the morning when I put this on. When I applied it, there was a tiny bit of creasing under the eyes. I patted that out and it hasn't creased since, so I love that. I have a rating system when it comes to foundation, similar to the rating system I have for moisturizers, if you've seen my other videos. And this rating system has 3 categories, and I rate each category out of 5. First category, does the foundation blend well into the skin? And I gave this a 4.5 out of 5. The reason I dinged it a little bit is because the few times that I have tried this foundation prior to this review, I found that when I would apply the foundation to my skin, if I had any sort of like dry spots on my face, it would find those and amplify them. Today, my skin was really well moisturized, really well hydrated, and it just seemed to go on like butter. So today is a good day, but that's why I had to ding it and give it a 4.5 out of 5 because it's hit or miss. Second category is the foundation buildable, and I gave this a 4.7 out of 5. Now, the reason I didn't give it a full 5 out of 5 is because when you try to build this foundation, you really need to make sure you blend it out really, really well because it can look cakey. So I find that even with other foundations that I've tried that are similar to this one, they didn't require as much work at blending it out. They blend it a lot easier into the skin when you try to build them. Without making your skin look cakey. With this one, I find you just have to put a bit more effort into it and a bit more work to blend it out. So that's why I gave this a 4.7 out of 5. Third category, how well does a foundation dry onto the skin and how well does it wear throughout the day? And I gave this a 4.4 out of 5. With wearing it throughout the day, if my skin got dehydrated at any point or any dry spots formed, it still amplified them and it made them look a bit red in any areas where my skin tends to get a bit drier. So like my chin, because I tend to touch my chin a lot throughout the day, or around my forehead right here. Overall, you don't need to set it with powder. Well, in my opinion, I have drier skin. If you have oily skin, I would definitely say you would need to set this with powder, and even some combination skin, maybe in the oilier areas, you might want to set it with a bit of powder. But overall, I didn't set this foundation with powder because I found that I was afraid that it might cause more dryness on my skin. So final thoughts. I like this foundation. I don't love it. I think there's better foundations that I've tried out there. For example, even a drugstore foundation, the Revlon Illuminance foundation. I recently did a review on that and was blown away. Love, love, love that foundation. I actually think that one is better than this particular Dior one. It just performed better, lasted better. And my biggest issue with this is the dryness that it's sometimes like really amplified. But what I did love about it is how there was minimal creasing. And I built this up, like I used 3 pumps, which is for me personally, that's a lot. And the creasing under my eyes was so minimal that it was barely noticeable, which really impressed me. And it stayed put. Overall, this foundation stays put even when you don't set it with powder. I just don't love the effort you need to put into it to make sure that your skin is super well moisturized and hydrated so that this foundation goes on really smoothly and blends in really smoothly with your skin. This is my personal experience. And also I found that if you do want to build it up, you really need to work at blending it so that it doesn't look cakey on your face. Overall, I liked it. I didn't love it. There's better products out there. And for the price especially, I don't think it performed to the level that it should have. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know down in the comments if you have tried this foundation, what your experience was with it. Did you love it? Did you not love it? I'd love to hear from you. Let me know if there's any other videos you'd like me to make or products you'd like me to review. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. It means so much to me. Thank you again, and I will see you next time.